Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial. So I just want to show you what we're going to try and make. So we're just making so we have a main menu here. We're going to press play on our main menu, and we have audio from some music playing in the background that I downloaded from the Free Music Archive, and I have a volume control button here for my music. If I can get my mouse to click on the slider, there we go, so I can turn off the music and I can fade in and out. So set the volume that I'm happy with. I can press play and the music is still playing even though I've changed level. And off I go to investigate my sci-fi world and my whatever my game is. So let's have a little walk through how I made that and how that all works. So first of all, this is just the main menu. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a new menu just so you can see me assembling it all. So let's save this one that I have here and we'll go new scene. So what did I do? I took my camera and I made it solid and black in the background, although we're going to replace it with an image so it doesn't really matter. So that's the first thing I did. Then I created a UI and first thing I created was my slider. And then you can just position that anywhere you want. Now that obviously depends on the image you're going to put in the background. So there's my slider, and then I'm going to create a UI text object, and let's move that over near the slider, and there it is there. Now before I go any further, I should have started with my canvas and change that to be scale with screen size, and then set that to be 1920 by 1080. Okay, so that should have been my first move. Now they'll end up ultimately in the same place because I'm previewing here in HD. So there's my text. So let's just set that up. So let's make the text white first of all, and then we'll make the text box that it's in bigger. So we'll kind of double that a little bit and make that say 60. So with the text box bigger, it allows us then to go get this text, center it, and then we can change what it says. So we'll say volume, so the player knows what they're doing, and then we can increase the font size here. And if you ever make the font too big, it'll disappear, so be careful with that. Now that's probably too big, but we'll leave it there for now. So that's our volume. I might want to say music volume because you might have a separate one for sound effects. Okay, so now I'm going to create another text field, and we'll do something similar. Actually, yeah, we'll do something similar with this. We'll make the text white, and we will. There it is. There, it's small. So I should rename these here, but we'll just leave them for now. We're just keeping it simple. So we'll bring that over here, and we'll call, I don't know, we'll give the game a name. We'll call it Space Game. And again, we'll make this box bigger. We'll make it say 500, and this one 60. And we'll center everything, and Space Game. And that's just the name of my game. Maybe we'll put that up here. And then I've positioned these to the side because I know the image I'm bringing in is sort of offset to the right. So I'm going to bring in an image, and I'm going to set the image. It's already centered 000, so I'm going to set that to be the full rasterized width of the screen, so 1080. And then I need to drop a sprite on top of it. So I have imported already a texture called Corridor. It's just a PNG file. I selected it and I said texture type sprite, and now I can drag and drop that in there. Now the way the canvas system works in Unity, it's now on top of everything, so I simply just move it up here so that it's the first item, and now it's behind everything. So now I don't have to worry about not being able to see things. So that's my main menu set up. And when I press play, or if I press play, that's what I would see. Now, audio. So I'm going to create an empty, and that empty I'm going to rename. We'll call it audio control. Now you probably want to call it music control because it is actually for music as opposed to sound effects. So here's my audio control. And I wanted to play audio. So in order to play audio, I need to put an audio source on it. Now, if I have lots of different types of audio, if I have lots of different audio clips, I could load them in a different way. So at the moment, I've only got this one clip here. So I'm just going to drag and drop that in here. But I have another video that I put up recently where it shows you how to put in multiple audio clips using a single audio source. So you just need to reference them in a piece of code. It's quite simple. Okay, so that's my my music in the scene. So now I just need to kind of connect this slider with this audio. So how do I do that? Well, I need a script. So I have a script here called music, spelt incorrectly, music player control. So I'm going to double click on that and open it up here, and we'll have a quick look at the script. So as you can see, it's quite a short script. And I haven't loaded in any particular library of UI library or AI library or anything like that. So I've got two variables at the top. This is just saying which audio source, so I could play from different places. And then I've declared a variable which is a float called music volume. Now, I've also loaded this in here. So this empty is going to have, it says don't destroy onload this game object. So when the scene ends, this main menu scene, this object here will not be deleted. It'll persist. So it will live through the scene change. So normally when you go from one scene to another, all of the game objects in the first scene are deleted, and then all of the objects in the next scene are loaded. So this little piece of code here is very handy. So this will basically mean that the audio that's playing will persist. And hence, when at the start of this video, when I pressed play and we changed scene, the audio didn't break or didn't start again because the object it was playing from persisted between scenes. And then we're just caching the audio source. So we're saying which audio source we're going to use. In update, we're just constantly watching this value here, this volume, and we're referencing this thing here. So this is the audio source has a dot volume. So let's have a quick look at that in the inspector. So if I go to my canvas and the slider, so the slider has built into it a value, and it's that value that we want to get at. So if it's up full, you can see here it's to the top, and if it's down here, it's to the bottom. So that's what we want to change. We want to be able to change the volume based on that value. Okay, so and then down here, this is where it actually works. So we're saying that we're going to attach this method here to the slider, and we're going to basically say change this, which is our volume, as we set the value up and down. So let's just assign that and see it working, and hopefully it'll make more sense to you when you actually see it in place. So I'm going to put my script onto the audio source. Okay, and it's saying, so I need to tell it where the audio is, and it's on itself. So that just means that this script could be on a game controller, for example. It doesn't have to be on this object here. So the audio could be somewhere else. So that's set up to go now. Now I go to my slider, and built into the slider is this on value change, and it wants us to connect something to it. So I'm going to hit the plus here, and the object that we want to change is this one. That's where the script is. And the script, or the function that we want to run, is this one here, set volume. So as this, so on value change, so as it changes this from 0 to 1, it's going to change the volume over here from 0 to 1, so that we can then change this guy, volume, up and down. Okay, so let's see if that works. So the music is playing in the background. Hopefully you can hear it. Can you hear it? Maybe you cannot hear it. Let me see if I can change. No, you should be able to hear it. There we go. So I'm going to turn it down now. If I can click on this slider. There we go. So I've turned it down. It's back up, down, up. So that's it working. So that's how to set that up. And then finally, we just want to change level, which is pretty straightforward. So we're going to go UI, create a button, and let's move the button over here-ish, and we'll just place it there. I'm not going to do anything with this button to make it look beautiful, except type the word play in here, so we can play our game, and we'll make the font a little bit bigger. Not too big though. There we go. So that's our button. Now we need to get that to obviously change scene. So again, this has built-in functionality on click. So we want to do something on click. So we need to drag an object in here that has a script on it that says change level. So that is play button. So let me open this. So this is literally one line of code. So I've loaded this in up on the top, which is using Unity Engine Scene Management. And then I've said, I've made this up here, so that could say, you know, no, that could be any word at all. Or it could say, play music. Actually, we don't want it to say play, but play level 1. That's what we want it to do. And basically, when this method is run, this function is run here, it'll go scene manager.load scene level 1. Okay, so let's save that and see that working. So I'm going to put this script, there we go, I'm going to put this script onto the button. Now it doesn't need to be on the button, but I'm going to put it on the button. What's important here is that we have, we use the onClick. So in drag, wherever the script is, whatever object it's on, we put that object in here, and we say, play level 1. Now, one last thing. So if you do all this and you press play, it won't actually change scene. What you need to do is you need to go into the build settings, and the scenes that you want to switch between must be in here. And how do you put them in there? Well, you just literally drag and drop them. If they're not in this scenes in build, if they're not in there, then you can't, the scene manager can't access them. So let's press play. Let's set our volume. Maybe make it a little bit louder. Oh, I can't click on this at all. I need a new mouse. And I'm going to press play. And here I am, and the music is still playing. And I'm on my level and ready to go. Okay. So that's all I wanted to put into this tutorial. We'll do more stuff on audio and footsteps and all sorts of other things as well. But for now, we'll just leave it there.